It all started with spilled orange juice and a late babysitter. Liam Carter, 41, powerful, polished, and one of the most elusive billionaire CEOs in New York, never imagined he'd be walking into a small downtown diner wearing sneakers and holding the sticky hands of his twin daughters. The plan had been simple: breakfast with his girls at a quiet place before he dropped them off to the nanny and headed to his meeting. But when his assistant rescheduled his entire day and his date set up by a friend of a friend insisted they still meet, Liam made an impulsive decision. He brought the twins with him. It was meant to be casual. A test run. After years of watching women fall for the version of him they saw in magazines' sharp suit, stoic expression, luxury cars, Liam wanted to be seen as just a man. A father, not a brand. So for the first time in years, he dressed down. No Armani. No limo. He picked a corner booth in an old diner, his girls giggling beside him, their coloring books and milkshakes already on the table. And then she walked in. Her name was Nora. She wasn't like the others. Not the elegant, polished women he usually met at exclusive events or parties. She was simple sundress, light makeup, brown curls loosely tied. She scanned the diner and her eyes stopped on him. Nora's smile faltered for just a second. She saw the man with 2 kids in mismatched sneakers and a flannel shirt. She thought he was the wrong guy, and then she sat down. "Hey," she said softly. "You must be Liam with a twist?" Liam chuckled. "Long story. These are my daughters, Emma and Ellie." The girls waved, completely at ease with the stranger. Nora smiled and waved back, her eyes scanning the table cluttered with napkins and crayons. She looked amused and maybe a little surprised. "So, you're a single dad?" she asked. He nodded, not offering more. Nora didn't pry. Instead, she turned to the girls, asking about their favorite colors and which milkshake flavor was best. Within minutes, they were laughing. Emma had already given her a pink crayon, declaring her the judge of the coloring contest. It wasn't what Liam expected, but it felt oddly right. As the meal went on, Liam watched her. She never once asked about his job, his income, or where he lived. She didn't seem interested in the surface things most others clung to. She listened, laughed, and even helped Ellie wipe off ketchup from her cheek with a napkin tucked behind her ear like she'd done it 100 times. When the bill came, Liam reached into his pocket for his wallet, but Nora had already stood up. "I'll get this one," she said. He blinked. "You don't have to." She smiled kindly, almost as if she misunderstood the situation. "It's fine. I know how hard it is. Kids aren't cheap." And that's when Liam realized she thought he was broke, and still, she wanted to pay. Something inside him shifted. This woman, who thought he was just a regular man raising kids alone, who thought he struggled with bills and spills and fast food dinners, still treated him with kindness, curiosity, and respect. She didn't offer pity. She offered presence. He was speechless. The diner faded around him. His daughters were giggling over who won the coloring contest. Nora was arguing gently with the waitress about the tip. And Liam sat there, for once in his life, without a script or an agenda, just a heart slowly opening. They walked out together. The summer breeze tousled Nora's hair as she turned to say goodbye. "Thanks for the meal," Liam said. "Really." "No problem," she said. "You're doing a great job, Liam. I know how hard it can be. I was raised by a single dad. I respect it." He looked at her then, not as a CEO, not as a millionaire, but as a man seeing someone who truly saw him. A week later he called her, this time with no twins, no diner, no disguise. She opened her front door to find Liam standing in a crisp white shirt beside a sleek black car, holding a bouquet of wildflowers. She blinked. "You clean up well." "I have something to tell you," he said. They sat on a park bench, and he told her everything. The company, the wealth, the reason. He kept it hidden. Her face didn't change. "Okay," she said. You're still the guy who got ketchup on his shirt and let his daughter braid his hair mid-breakfast." He laughed. "That's not going to stop, by the way." "Good," she replied. "Because that's the version I like." Over the next few months, their relationship deepened. Nora met Liam's world-lavish fundraisers, corporate dinners, but she remained the same. She brought his daughter's bedtime books from thrift stores and taught them how to make friendship bracelets. She grounded the glamour with warmth, but challenges came too. Nora struggled at times, feeling out of place in Liam's world, wondering if she could ever truly belong. She was fiercely independent and didn't want to be defined by his name or money. Liam, too, had his fears. He worried she would leave once the reality of his world became too overwhelming. But what saved them wasn't wealth. It was transparency. They talked, fought, listened. When Nora finally opened up about her childhood, growing up with a father who worked 2 jobs and skipped meals so she could eat, Liam understood the strength in her humility. And when Liam revealed how lonely the penthouse felt after losing his wife in childbirth and becoming a single dad overnight, Nora held his hand, not with pity, but with deep, steady compassion. One evening, while sitting around a backyard bonfire, roasting marshmallows, Emma looked up at Nora and said, "Are you gonna stay forever?" Nora smiled and looked at Liam. "I'd like to," she whispered. A year later, they got married in a small garden ceremony. No press, no announcements. Just people who mattered. Liam stood under the arch with his twins holding Nora's hands. He didn't need a perfect headline or a designer suit. He had everything. And Nora, who once paid for breakfast thinking he was a broke dad, had unknowingly given him the one thing he couldn't buy. A love built on truth, not titles. And that, in the end, left him speechless once again. This story is not just about love, it's about being seen. Truly and fully, beyond the surface. Liam had the world at his feet, power, wealth, success. What he truly longed for was authenticity, connection, and someone who would love him not for what he had, but for who he was. Nora gave him that. She looked past appearances, embraced his chaos, and showed up with sincerity when she had every reason to walk away. In return, Liam opened his guarded heart, trusted again, and chose a woman who brought warmth to his world, not status. Together, they built something neither of them had before, a partnership rooted in honesty, vulnerability, and mutual respect. The moment Nora reached for the bill, believing he was a struggling single father, was the moment everything changed. It proved that real love doesn't come with conditions. It comes with kindness, compassion, and the courage to see someone's soul before their status. And in the end, that's what made their story unforgettable, a reminder that the richest hearts are often found in the simplest moments. And sometimes, the most beautiful beginnings start when you least expect them.